It appears that Jedd Fisch is set to become the next head coach at Washington. Is this a good move? Let's talk about it after the stinger. It's Felix Sharpe here, Chris Moxley there for CampusToCan.com. I hope you like the video. I hope you like the content that we're putting out here daily, trying to push this Campus to Canton format. For more information on it, you can click the link in the description box. Chris Moxley, at Chris Moxley19 on Twitter. Jedd Fisch is set to leave Arizona and become the next head coach at Washington. Your reaction to this news was a little bit different than mine. What's your take on it?
I think it's a great hire for Washington. What he did at Arizona, the quick roster turnaround, I thought he did an excellent job. He had members of his staff hired elsewhere. Nansen became the co-DC at Texas. So I think he's done a tremendous job there, and I think that he was going to be highly sought after, and Washington got their guy. I think it's a great hire for them.
I don't disagree with you, but the momentum that they would try to build at Washington, he already had going at Arizona, including dominating Oklahoma in the bowl game. We saw the future of this program in Teteroa McMillan and Noah Fafita. Those two were set to become stars, and he was able to land transfer portal players and get them to come to Arizona. Jacob Cowling, I forget the linebacker from Oregon who transferred down there, one of the hardest hitting players I've seen in high school football, but he had that momentum there. I mean, if we're talking about looking into 2024, I would have put this team in the 12-team playoff. Like, this is that they would have to take all of the players from that Arizona team to Washington to rebuild that that roster, because Chris, that Washington roster has been gutted after Kalen DeBoer left.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest consideration here, if you're Jedd Fisch, is not the next 2, 3, 4 years. It's getting into one of the two mega conferences with the TV deals. The TV deal for the Big Ten is for 6 years. Washington is getting $30 million for the first 6, and then will become a bigger partner later on. Arizona's making about that with no room to move forward in the Big 12 as they probably renegotiate some sort of deal. It's just a long-term play. You're getting a huge revenue share in a mega conference. It's just not the same as the Big 12. It's just a totally different situation. I think Washington's primed to be a really good competitive school. I don't know that they have the same heights that they had this year. Just the new schedule features Michigan, Penn State. I mean, Iowa. It's a tough schedule, but I think long-term, this makes a lot of sense for Jedd Fisch. And it also helps. He's probably getting double, at least 2.5 times the money that he was making at Arizona, which was about $3 million.
If we're talking about the money, if we're talking about the long-term play, I don't disagree with you. But there's the possibility for 2024 and beyond for some coaches at a Power 4 conference that's not the Big Ten or SEC to build a small empire similar to what Dabo Swinney did in the ACC in Clemson. And in my opinion, Jedd Fisch was on the way to doing something like that at Arizona. That's why I would disagree that this is a good move. If we look at Washington in the last couple of hours, they lost Jabbar Muhammad. They've lost they have no quarterbacks, scholarship quarterbacks on the roster after Will Rogers is gone, Austin Mack is gone, Michael Penix Jr. is headed to the NFL. Noah Fafita, in my opinion, is a star. People don't know that name. He's a top 8 quarterback in my rankings. Teteroa McMillan is a top 5 wide receiver in my rankings. You're not guaranteed that those two are going to follow you. Even if they do, I'll just say this again, he would be trying to build the momentum at Washington that he already has at Arizona. I think in the short term, when we talk about the 2024 playoff, the 2025 playoff, it's short-sighted in my opinion. He had the potential to be the next Dabo Swinney type coach in the Big 12 moving forward. That's my take.
I don't think you're quite wrong. I think short-term anything can happen. If he has a down year this year, is he being looked at the same way that he is right now? If Noah Fafita goes down, if Teteroa McMillan goes down, I think you could be having a different conversation. So moving to the big leagues now. Don't worry about where the sport's going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, because we've seen how much it's changing. I think this is a great move for him, and I think it's a great move for the University of Washington.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Jedd Fisch to Washington. Good move, bad move. Help us get to 3,000 and go visit the website, CampusToCan.com. All right.